Well, hello there, and welcome back to my 12-part mini course in Getting Started in Acting. So today's topic is probably the most important of all the subjects that I discuss, and that is because it is about protecting your personal safety. Now, in the last segment, I talked to you about protecting yourself financially, for example, being aware and therefore not getting ripped off. Because as I mentioned in the last segment, starting out in the acting business puts you in a position of being taken advantage of. And the reason being that anytime scam artists or predators see something that people are excited about and want really badly, they see this as an opportunity to exploit and to take advantage of. And it is no different, for sickos who are looking for opportunities to potentially sexually exploit or seriously harm or God forbid kill someone. So unfortunately, it happens. And I certainly am not trying to scare you away from pursuing your dreams as an actor. Not at all, but I want to make sure that you are aware and wary of the very real predators that are out there. And you need to protect yourself, and you need to know how to do that. Now, unfortunately, those that get caught in harm's way are not aware, and they're way too trusting, and possibly blinded by what they see as an opportunity for fame and for fortune. So I'm going to begin by letting you know that fame and fortune rarely comes easy, and when it is presented to you that way, as easy, it is likely not true, and you need to be skeptical. You need to know that serious and reputable producers, directors, and agents don't work in that type of rash way. A lot of time and a lot of effort is put into finding the right actor for the right role that they're trying to fill. And they look at training and experience, and very rarely do they hire an unknown actor for a substantial role. And when auditioning potential actors for smaller roles, they go through a specific process, almost always using an agent to supply actors to audition. And now that is the norm when it comes to most film, TV, and commercial auditions, particularly for union projects. But there are plenty of independent projects that are low budget or no budget that use other means to cast their roles. For example, advertisements in the paper or on the internet or postings. And even though you may not be getting paid, or very little if you are, they can still be a wonderful way to gain experience and add that experience and that knowledge to your resume. But because they are not going through the regular channels, and you don't have an agent to guide and to protect you, you need to be very careful. To some of you, some of the things I will mention, they may seem obvious, but unfortunately, far too often, new actors put themselves in harm's way by not being aware and by taking risks. The bottom line is, if you are asked to attend an audition and you are not familiar with the people or person who has invited you, then you should not go alone. Take someone with you. There have been numerous occurrences of young women being approached by a man, or even a woman sometimes, claiming to be a producer or a director of a film, and they approach young women on the streets and in the malls, telling them they are exactly what they have been looking for, and asking them to come and read for the part in a big so-called Hollywood film. Now, unfortunately, many of these girls, would feel flattered, and they would go to read for the part, only to find out that it was taking place in a hotel room with inappropriate behavior and sometimes sexual exploitation. So, and even worse, there was a young girl in Canada who went to meet a photographer one day, and horribly, she never did return. Now, these are awful examples, but you need to know that this can happen. So please know that legitimate producers, legitimate directors, and legitimate casting agents do not approach actors in malls or on the street. It just doesn't happen. There is a process involved, and that is definitely not it, okay? The main thing to remember is don't go anywhere alone unless you are completely familiar with the company who is auditioning. And again, once you have an agent, they will be able to guide you and to protect you. But in the beginning, you will need to err on the side of caution. Okay, that means doing as much research about who is conducting the auditions, what is the production company involved. There's a lot of preparation that you can do to protect yourself, and just being aware and less trusting is extremely important as you begin your career as an actor. So I encourage you to do as much research as you can before auditioning for anyone through advertisements. Okay, you can go to my website, thetruthAboutActing.com, and find my full course where I go into a lot of detail regarding your personal protection. Again, I am so glad that you have joined me in my mini course, and I hope you are feeling like you are learning a lot. I look forward to speaking to you again in a couple of days when I talk to you all about working as a background performer, or otherwise known as an extra. It's a great way to get started as an actor, and it can be a heck of a lot of fun. So take care, and I will talk with you again soon.